Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It is Saturday, November 4th, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions the first weekend of November. I can't believe it. Holiday shopping season has officially kicked off. I hope that you are planning accordingly. I will be waiting quite some time, I think, and probably just trying to give experiences, not physical gifts. Okay, so let's think about you. If you have a financial question, something going on in your family, in your personal life, maybe you're thinking about a big job change, maybe you're trying to take a moment to really consider what your options are, I encourage you to get in touch with us. Just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and then we'll get your note. If you would like to join us live, do check that box because Mark will do everything else. I love when you guys come on the air live with us. It makes the show so much more robust. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. Mark does an amazing job with that. And you should subscribe to our service called Jill on Money Live. Jill on Money Live gives you access to quarterly live webinars and a lot more bonus content. The next webinar is on December 6th, and it is with my friend and former employee, but really just my friend now, Dan Forbes. He's a certified financial planner. He owns a company called Forbes Financial Planning in New England. We are going to be talking about tax and year-end financial planning. It's going to be great. You must subscribe to the service to join us live. $35 gets you access to live quarterly webinars for 12 months and, of course, other bonus content. Right now, you can check out video chats with Jean Chatsky, Diana Henriquez, and more. So check it out, join us, and you can see the whole back catalog. Okay, right now, let's talk to Anne. She's on the line from Oregon.
So I'm just wondering how to allocate my portfolio. I feel like I've been making sure I've done it for the past 20 years and haven't paid too much attention to what I've invested in. And now that I'm getting a little older and closer to retirement than I have been, I want to make sure I'm invested in the right stuff.
Let me ask you to tell us a little bit about you and where you are in life and what's happening.
So I'm 44. My husband is 41. We have 4 kids. My husband makes about $75,000 a year. I make about, this last year I made $44,000 a year. My income is pretty inconsistent because I work on call and then I work 2 different contract jobs.
Wait, you're a nurse?
No, I'm not a nurse. I work at a hospital helping kids cope with hospitalization.
Oh my God, that's such a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. I've done it for 20 years now. And then I teach at 2 different universities. So like I said, my income is inconsistent, but I have been consistent. We've always been consistent at saving 15%. We've got a fully funded emergency fund. We own our home and have a really good interest rate on that.
How much is the house worth? I mean, I know there you have seen a huge housing
it's kind of crazy,
right? So what's happened?
I would guess it's worth somewhere between $525 and $550 based on what's selling around us.
And what's the outstanding mortgage balance?
It's about $192.
Oh, great. And, on your cash flow, your $120, you put 15% away, you've got your emergency fund, you're paying your mortgage. Are you feeling comfortable in, you don't make a ton of money, but you're making a lot of money relative to the universe and it seems like you save a lot and you've got 4 kids. So how's it feel for you guys?
It feels better than it's ever been. I mean, during the recession in 2008, my husband, we was underemployed. We were both underemployed for a long time. So it feels better than it's ever, honestly, as far as the cash flow goes.
That's amazing. How old are the kids? Give me just the range.
4 to 14.
Oh, you're busy. I don't even know how you're doing anything working. Are you a contractor at all those jobs or any of those jobs? Are you W-2?
I guess I'm actually W-2 for all of them. It's just on a contract basis for the universities. It's like, we want you to teach this term. We'll pay you this much money.
I gotcha.
And then it's, we'll see what happens the next term. And it's based on my availability and their availability.
All right. But you're doing fine. You're making this $120,000 a year. You're putting 15% into your retirement accounts. Tell me what's in the retirement accounts right now. Like how much money total?
So there's about $285,000.
Great. That's fantastic. Are either you or your husband entitled to a pension at retirement?
No, I might be entitled to a very small one from when my hospital switched over to stuff, but I honestly don't know. And if I do, it's very small.
Okay. And in the retirement accounts, are you doing traditional or Roth?
We're doing a lot of things.
All right, let's get into it. That's really the nut of your question, which is what's going on in these darn accounts. So tell us what's going on.
There's a lot of things. So we have a Roth through Schwab that we just contribute to our own. That one has about $81,000.
Okay.
We have one through my husband's account that has about $96,000, and it is mostly a traditional, but we switched it to Roth, 2 years ago.
Okay. So like 90 and 6 or something, whatever.
Yeah.
It is, right. Okay.
Yeah. And then for me, I have about 100 in my work, and that's the same thing. Like we switched at the same time to a Roth when companies started offering them more.
Right. Mostly traditional. And so yours is a 403B, I guess, or a 401k?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
You're correct. It's a 403B.
Okay. And so there you have it. That's great. So there's your 285.
And then we have like $1,000 in for one of the university jobs. I have just $1,000 because that's just gotten started.
Floating around. Okay, great. Is your husband entitled to a match through his retirement account?
So yes, he is. And with his, we contribute up to his match. And then we put the rest of the 15 to get up to 15%. So I think with his match, we get up to 12% and we take the other 3% and put it in the Schwab account.
And besides these retirement accounts, any money that's outside of retirement at this point?
So we have a health equity account. So the health savings, we have about $5,000 in that's invested. And then $5,000 that's just in the cash to pay for like the yearly expenses.
Okay. That's fantastic. Those are wonderful accounts. They're great to use. It's nice to have it like sitting there. So perfect. Kids, college, anything like that that's on your mind?
It's on my mind, but we're not doing much right now.
Good. Don't worry about it. So at this point, if you're putting 15% into some combination of your retirement accounts through work and then also your Roths, that's that. When you said 15%, you were talking about those, sort of both employer and your own accounts, right?
Yep.
Great.
Total.
Okay. And when you're done at the end of the day, any debt besides the mortgage?
No, I mean, we have credit card bills that we pay off monthly.
Okay. That's fine.
No, there's no
auto loans?
No, we drive 20-year-old cars and we're fine with it. So,
what's your 20-year-old car? Maybe I want to get that car.
No, you don't. But I'd love to tell you, you might want to get the one I sold. But the one I have it's a Honda Sienna. It runs great, but it's a minivan and it's really ugly. But it performs well.
I like a minivan. I think it's like this. Okay, I don't have a family, but I will say that I always like whenever I borrow my sister-in-law's minivan to do like cart something big. I was like, this is a great car. This is so great. It's so convenient. It's so easy to get in
and that's why we keep it. And if we had a nice car, I would worry that the kids would do something to it.
So now let's talk about the allocation of these accounts, which is you wrote in and you said you really want allocation help. And you said you're worried because you're worried about having some analysis paralysis. So let's break it down. Tell me what you got and tell me what you're thinking.
What I got, that's where it's kind of all over the place. What I've done is in like some of them, like the one for my husband's work, like I was just like, I don't know what I should do. So I signed up on their free thing and they told me what to do. And then I canceled so I don't have to pay the fee. And then I just kept it. And that was a couple of years ago. But that one has some pretty high fees, although I feel like it's doing really well.
How many funds are in that account?
A lot.
I'm going to tell you how many because you told
tell me. Tell me how many.
I'll tell you why, because I have your original email here.
Yes, thank you.
I'm putting this out there because it's going to make Mark completely insane. There are 29 different funds to choose from, and we're in 9 of them. 9. 9 funds is more than you need. I'm going to just go down this list for a second because you gave me the allocation for your Schwab Roth IRA. In that, I'm just going to tell everybody what our friend Ann from the Pacific Northwest has. So she's got the Schwab 100 Index. She's got the Schwab Large Company Index. She has the S&P 500 Index and the Total Stock Market Index. Essentially, you have 4 of the same funds. Okay? You do not need all 4 of those. I promise you don't. Stock market index or S&P 500 does not matter to me. All of those funds. So you have 21% in the Schwab 100, 12% in the U.S. company, 22% and 20. So 20, 40, 50. All right. So you have 70%. Put 70% in the S&P 500 fund. That's it. Put the 70% there. Then you've got 8% international. I'd make that 10%. And I would make 10% your small cap index, 70, 80, 90. I'm just adding this up in my head. Do you have to be all stock? Are you willing to consider a bond index?
I'm willing. I was doing that in the Schwab, and then like in my work account, I was doing the retirement one, and I thought that would capture the.
I mean, okay, that's fine.
I'm calling you because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm putting money in every month because that's what they tell me to do. But after that, I don't know what I'm doing.
Listen, Schlesinger, I'm doing what you're telling me to do. Just help me figure this out. Okay, here's what I think you should do. Let's keep it simple. This Schwab account, let's put 3 funds in your Schwab account, and it's going to be all stocks. You're going to go 15% in the international fund. You're going to go 70% in the S&P 500 fund, and you're going to go 15% in the small cap fund. Done. Now, I want you to take those allocations. I want you to apply it to the existing allocation and to any future money as well.
Okay.
15, 70, 15. 3 funds. That's all you have.
Awesome.
That's your Schwab account. Okay. Next, let's talk about the husband's traditional account. Okay. You got all that in one retirement plan in a target date fund, right?
So yeah, and that's my retirement. Not that it matters. That's in the 403B, and the Lincoln's the 403B.
Inside of that Lincoln 403B, are there index funds inside of that rather than the target date fund?
So here's the thing with, I don't even have to do the 403B from work. Because I'm not matched because of my status as an employee. I used to be, and then they changed the rules and it made me mad. But I'm not matched anymore. I only do it because the reason I do it there is because it's consistent, because my paychecks vary from week to week, and that consistently takes out my 15%.
That's fine. I mean, it's not, I mean, I would just, if you could follow up with me, send us those. Okay. So then that's that. You're going to follow up with that. Next, let's talk about this, the Fidelity. Tell me about the funds in there. What do you got?
I think I have some really expensive ones. Sorry. Those are, I have like, I don't even know what they are. They're just numbers. And like I said, I signed up for the free thing. It's like, let us help you allocate your portfolio. So I'm like, great, do it.
And here's the deal. No looking back. Let's look forward. So let's talk about what you have right now. I really don't, honestly, everyone listening, you have to understand. The only reason I do the going back is if I'm trying to understand why you made a certain decision. But most of us in our retirement accounts, we are very flip about the decisions we make. So let's talk about what you have in this your husband's mostly traditional retirement account. What's in there?
A FIAM blend, TD, Fidelity 500 Index, Contra Fund, GIB EXUS IDX, Fidelity Low Price, HTFD International, MFS.
HTFD. Okay, keep going. MFS. Yeah.
MFS Value, PIM, I think is at the PIMCO Total Return.
So it's just a plain old Fidelity account now, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
Right. So there's a couple of funds that you mentioned that I think are really important to keep. The S&P 500 index, we have Fidelity Low Price Stock. There is a fund that you should check out. It's an international index, is F as in Frank, Z, I, L as in Larry, X, X-ray. And that is probably the best international fund that you can kind of check out. The other one that I think you should try to look at is the Fidelity Intermediate Term Bond Index. That is, you ready for this? F as in Frank, UAMX. That's the Fidelity Intermediate Term Bond Index. That's it. Easy peasy. And, if you don't want the low price stock, because actually I think low price stock that might be a little more expensive. You should check out the small cap index fund, which is F as in Frank, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, N Nancy, X X-ray. Couldn't I be a travel consultant? Let's do that one. Let's do the small cap index instead. I mean, low price stock is a great fund. However, it's expensive. And then, PIMCO Total Return is a very good fund. It really is. In fact, you could either do the PIMCO Total Return or you can do the Intermediate Term Bond Index. Those are the 2 different ones that you could try. In these accounts, you want to have some bonds. So I don't know how much you have in the bonds right now in the PIMCO Total Return, but you're 44, you're not going to retire for 20 something years probably. You probably should have 20% in bonds just for the heck of it. And then same deal, like when you look at your index, make that be like the core holding. 40, 50%. 50% in large cap index, S&P 500, 15% in small cap index, 15% in international, and 20% in bonds, either PIMCO total return or that bond fund that I gave you. And then you're done. You guys got your wills? You got what's going on?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
I know.
I made a phone call a couple months ago and they haven't called me back.
Okay, can I just say that when I ask that question and it's like, have you done your wills? And there's like the pause, like, that's always a bad sign. Okay, here's what I want you to do.
We have
you have life insurance? Okay,
yeah.
Good. What do you got?
$1 million on my husband, 500 on me.
And it's term life, right?
Term life, yeah.
Great. Okay, nice and cheap. Good. You might be slightly underinsured for you.
Yeah, that's what my husband says. He's like, if you die, I'm going to need more.
Exactly. Not only is he going to need more, but he's going to need either more money or more help or he's going to have to find a Mary Poppins who wants to just fly right into the backyard. Do you have any way to buy life insurance through any of these healthcare professional organizations that you have? Because sometimes it's really cheap if you do it as a group plan.
I don't know. I don't think so because I'm not benefited, but I will look.
Check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
But you get another $500,000 at least for, let's say that at least for 10 years.
Okay.
Because, you have a youngster.
Right.
And we don't want anything bad to happen for you.
Right.
I mean, not too much. We don't want to give him an incentive to knock you off.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Do you have friends who are lawyers? Do you have any friends who are lawyers?
Yes, but I don't know that they do will and trust.
Don't worry, just call them.
Just lawyers. Okay.
Yeah, just call them up and be like, just need someone to bang out to get these documents done. That's what you want to do. Because even if it's like, it's a real estate lawyer, there's someone in the firm or they know somebody. I went to law school with this guy who does that, with this gal who does. If you would like to join us, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. And Mark does everything else. It's so easy to do. Don't forget to leave us a rating and review wherever you listen to this program and lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.